Hello children. So in today's section we are going to see some of the chemical properties of halogens. So in previous class we have discussed their some of chemical properties and physical properties. Yes. So today and some other chemical properties we are going to see now. So halogens when react with water. We know that all halogens are covalent in nature. They all are soluble in water but at different conditions. Next one, fluorine is so strong as an oxidant, that is, it oxidizes water to oxygen. That means fluorine can oxidize water to oxygen, and when the water get converted to oxygen, it is an exothermic and spontaneous reaction. See the reaction here. When F2 reacts with 3 molecules of water, it gives 2 3H3O plus hydronium ion plus 2F minus plus half O2. So here delta G naught value is minus 795 kilojoules per mole. As it is highly spontaneous and it is an exothermic reaction, delta G value is minus 795 kilojoules per mole. So when with other halogens, okay, whenever it reacts with other halogens, the reaction is slow. Okay, except fluorine, what are the remaining halogens are there? That halogens when reacts with water, the reaction is very slow because of high activation energy. So this is X2, that is halide. Any other than fluoride, you can take any chlorine, bromine, iodine like that. X2 when reacts with water, it forms HX plus HOX. So here the reaction is very slow because of their high activation energy. And next if we see that reaction with metals, halogens react with metals to form metal halides. So the ionic character of the halides decreases in the order. Okay, when we move down the group, the ionic character of the halides will decrease. So in if we see the order of ionic character, MF is greater than MCl, MCl is greater than MBr, MBr is greater than Mi, where M is the metal and these are halides. Understand children? So when we move down the group, the ionic character of halides will decreases. So if a metal exhibits more than one oxidation state, then how the halide will react? Then the halide in higher oxidation state will be more covalent. That means who is having more oxidation state, that will react fastly. For example, SnCl4, PbCl4, SbCl5 and UF6 are more covalent than SnCl2, PbCl4, SbCl3 and UF4. Next, so when reacts with halogens, when halogens react with other halogens, what it forms? Halogens react with each other, forming binary compounds called interhalogen compounds. So the question may be asked, what do you mean by interhalogen compounds? What are interhalogen compounds? When halogens react with each other, in the halides only they will react with each other, forming binary compounds. Okay, forming binary compounds called as interhalogen compounds. So interhalogen compounds are of 4 types: XX type, XX3, XX4, XX7. Okay, so what happens, what is their structure, we are going to see now. In XX type, when it is in ground state, the configuration, the electronic configuration will be NS2, NP2, NP2, NP1. So in P subshell, I am dividing into 3. Okay, normally the electronic configuration of halogens are NS2, NP5. So in p orbital 5 electrons are there, that only there. See 2, 2, 1. So I have separated. Okay, each and every block I have separated, I have written like this. So in that case, no d orbital is present. So when there is no d orbital, no hybridization takes place, isn't it? So in this, how many bond pairs are there? Only one electron which is going to be get bonded with other element, isn't it? So one bond pair, 3 lone pair of electrons are there. So electron pair, 1 bond pair, 3 lone pair. The structure will be linear. Understand children? Next, in XX3 type. So here first excited state. So one electron will move to the other one. So NS2, NP2, NP1, NP1. Yes. So here the hybridization will be sp3, sp3d. So in d orbital, one of the electron will jump to the d orbital. So sp3d. So d orbital n d1. Understand? So here how many bond pair, how many lone pairs are there? 2 bond pairs, 2 lone pair of electrons are there, isn't it? And the structure will be T-shaped. Next, in XX5 type, second excited state, what happens? NS2, NP1, NP1 and NP1. Understand, children? So here 2 d orbitals we are going to use now, isn't it? So here this one, this will jump to there, and again here NP1, NP1, NP1 and another one. So here in the second excited state, the hybridization what we are going to get is sp3d2. 2 d orbitals we have used now, so nd1, nd1. Yes, so I am not directly writing nd2, I am writing nd1 and d1, so that you can understand better. So how many bond pairs, how many lone pairs of electrons will be there? So 3 plus 2, 5, no? So 5 bond pairs, 1 lone pair of electron. The structure will be square pyramidal. And next, XX7 type, third excited state. XX7 type, third excited state, NS1, NP1, NP1, NP1. So here all are having single means unpaired electrons. So the hybridization what we are going to get here, children? sp3d3. So here nd1, nd1, nd1. So in d orbitals, 3 pair of 3 electrons are present, isn't it? Yes. So here now what is the electron pair? How many electron pairs we are going to get? 7 bond pairs and a lone pair of electrons. So all the 7 electrons what are present in their subshells are going to bond with the other element. So that is why 7 bond pairs and no lone pair of electrons are there. So for this structure, the structure will be pentagonal bipyramidal. So this is how the reaction with halogens, means what is their hybridization and what are the types of, okay, what the compounds can be formed is XX type, XX3, XX5, XX7 type. So some examples we are going to see now. So look at here. When chlorine reacts with fluorine at 437 Kelvin, it forms 2 KClF. So here 2 molecules, so 2 atoms of chlorine, 2 atoms of fluorine we have taken. That is why I wrote equimolar. When equimolar condition, at this temperature we are going to get this. The same again when Cl2 reacts with excess F2, okay, 3F2. Here I am taking fluorine XX in excess quantity at 537 Kelvin. So here 2ClF3. So here the compound has changed, 2ClF3. Yes. And again in the same way, when I2 reacts with Cl2 to form 2ICl, this is also in equimolar condition, same. And when we take in excess quantity I2 plus 3Cl2, here I am increasing chlorine to give 2ICl3. Understand, children? Yes. So here the physical properties of interhalogen compounds are intermediate between those of the constituent halogens, except melting and boiling points are a little higher than expected. So their melting and boiling point will be little higher. And the bond, okay, whatever bonds are formed, interhalogen compounds have heteroatomic bonds. Heteroatomic bonds means both are different atoms. That is why they are having heteroatomic bonds. So these bonds are polar, and hence interhalogens are more reactive than halogens. Understand, children? So interhalogens are more reactive than normal halogens. So look at here their structure. In XX3 type, like this, 2 lone pair of electrons, 3 bond pairs are there. And in XX5, 1 lone pair of electron and 5 bond pairs are there. Next, anomalous behavior of fluorine. So fluorine is the most reactive halogen. That is why it is called as super halogen. And it has only one oxidation state, that is -1. We already discussed in before class, isn't it? So it is an universal element which has only one oxidation state. It cannot exhibit more than one oxidation state. That is, it is having only one -1 oxidation state, and it does not exhibit positive oxidation state. Fluorine can react even with inert gases like neon and other halogen. Okay, sorry. Fluorine can react even with inert gases like xenon. It's not neon, it is xenon. But whereas other halogens cannot react with inert gases or noble gases. Next one, fluorine can displaces all halides from their salts, but other halogens cannot. Yes, so fluorine can displaces all halides. So whenever that metallic salts are there it can replace, and this can go on join. Fluorine can attach to that, but whereas remaining other halogens it cannot do. For example, look at here. When F2 react with 2 KCl, it can replace Cl. It can replace Cl to form 2 KF plus Cl2. In the same way, the other reactions also will be there. For example, F2 reacts with KBr, KF and Br2 will be formed. When it reacts with iodine, F2 reacts with potassium iodide, it forms KF plus I2. Understand? So fluorine can displaces all halides from their salt form, but whereas other halogens they cannot do like that. And whenever fluorine reacts with carbon, they form fluorocarbons. Example, CF4, C2F6, C5, F12. So why these properties are like this? Why it is happening like this? Because all the properties are due to small size of fluorine. Fluorine is having small size, and it is not having any d orbital. That is why this oxidation state is -1. If it is having a d orbital, it can move its electron. Okay, it can move its electron from ground state to excited state, but there is no chance of moving electron from its own orbital to d orbital. Next, it is having high electronegativity. Okay, due to high electronegativity of fluorine also, it will be having anomalous behavior. Okay, next, low bond dissociation enthalpy of fluorine. It is also having low bond dissociation enthalpy. Next, fluorine has only 2 electrons in its penultimate shell. How many electrons it is having? It is having only 2 electrons in its penultimate shell. So this is about fluorine anomalous behavior, and we have seen some of the chemical properties. In the next class we are going to deal about chlorine. Thank you, children.